Hi, I'm Kirk.
And I'm Lars. And we're from
Metallica.
Man, and this is San Francisco. This is where we live, and we want to show you some of the highlights of this wonderful place.
It's a beautiful city.
And it's only going to get better after this introduction, believe me.
Absolutely.
I'm Kurt Loder. Welcome to the Weekend Rock, coming to you from the San Francisco Bay Area, the site of this weekend's big Day on the Green festival starring Metallica, two of whose members, Lars, Ulrich, and Kirk Hammett, are with us. They're going to give us a tour of the entire environs. Right now we're in front of, the
this
Metallica
is the,
House.
Old Metallica House. We're in a beautiful downtown El Cerrito, and this is the pad where me, James, and Mustaine hung out for about 3 years from like 83 on.
Dave's still inside, I think.
It hasn't come out yet. All is forgiven, Dave. Come out.
So you wrote stuff here too? Did you write classic material here?
Yeah, we used to rehearse in this garage in the back, and that's where Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets were conceived.
Wow, this is touching.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We actually thought of coming back here and like buying this place and having like just constant 24-hour parties, but now we have something to accomplish next year.
Another hit album, you'll have that money together.
Right? Yeah.
We're gonna turn into the next Graceland.
Oh my
next
God.
Graceland. Speaking of homes of the stars, the upcoming issue of Architectural Digest out this coming week has a guided tour of the Manhattan apartment of Madonna. Let's hear it for Madonna. Give it up for
Madonna
Madonna.
has nothing on
Yeah,
this.
from one extreme to the other.
Pretty impressive. Take a look. Great place. Great place. So this is pick and pack. What's the how does this figure in the Metallica chronology?
Well, if you look at the credits on Master of Puppets, this is one of the first things on the thank list. This is a pick and pack. This is where we used to go and get tanked up, basically.
We used to have a friend who worked here who used to give us a bunch of free booze.
Yeah, and the key thing is he's not working here anymore because he actually got dismissed.
Do we know where he's working?
Thanks
Can
to
we,
us.
like, if you wanted to go see him?
Well, we could drive around all the East Bay's liquor stores and see if he found employment somewhere else.
I'm sure we would have found him by now, though.
Sooner or later.
Well, speaking of enterprises, one of the most enterprising entrepreneurs on the rap scene right now is Queen Latifah. She has a new album out called Nature of a Sista, but that's only one of the irons she has in the fire. See for yourself. Mitchell Brothers Sex Emporium, and we don't know why we're here exactly, but Lars, since you brought us here, maybe you could explain.
Well, I just thought it was about time that this thing got a little interesting. So, most of the things we've seen so far today featured Metallica in their like 83 to 86 period. And a few years ago when we reached puberty, this famous Dan R character brought us to these kind of establishments, and we found him actually quite entertaining. What was interesting was that a few minutes ago, right before we got the camera on, you guys actually missed Kirk walking out of this place with a big wide grin on his face.
I was using the bathroom.
Right, sure.
Right. Okay. So maybe we just won't go into that. I think. We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be back with more San Francisco, as seen by our listeners Metallica here. And don't go away. Welcome back to the Weekend Rock from San Francisco, where Kirk and Lars of Metallica are showing us around their hometown and have now brought us to the home of their graphics master, Metallica mega artist Pushead. Pushead, who was the model for this? What was the inspiration for this here?
Kirk was. This was during the divorce days. Kirk came over here, and he was pretty miserable. And, he was really bumming in life. And he said, draw a picture of how I'm really feeling. And, I came up with this. But
Amazing
he said,
how you
I look
captured
like a
that.
pirate,
It's pretty accurate, actually.
That's before, just when he was starting this Black Peach Fuzz stuff here, So it's
And this is, I think this is familiar to all Metallica fans,
yeah,
right?
that's from And Justice for All. That's the original. That's the first one before James
Right.
thought he looked a little too serious and said he wanted to look a little bit goofier, so he had to change again.
A bit more like Popeye.
And
Yeah,
this,
he wanted to look Popeye.
this is new, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is Sabbath True. It's a shirt, and it's going to be the scrims at the Day on the Green.
Which we just about might see.
I think we
So you
might.
just
I think we might see that.
Might.
Well, in more metal news, the annual Concrete Convention was held in Los Angeles this past weekend, and this year they also gave out some awards. Let's see how they went over. L.A. Metal. Right now we're outside the former site of one of San Francisco's most renowned rock clubs, the Old Waldorf. What's the story on this place?
This is where there was a lot of metal shows in the early 80s, and this is where Metallica played some of our best shows in the fall of 82. And, much more important, this is where me and Kirk first met.
And this is San Francisco. Well, as you know, school is back in session, and we recently went to the city of Philadelphia to gauge the national student mood. Take a look. Which is exactly the place where 5 years ago this month, Metallica hired a new bass player. What was it like? What exactly did you say
What was
to
his
Jason?
name again? What was his name?
Jim.
John.
Jason.
Jason. It was Jason. Like, how did this happen? Was it an
Well,
emotional scene?
We were holding auditions a few miles from here, and then we basically narrowed it down to 2 people, and we wanted to spend some time with each of them to see if we could like hang with them and so on. So obviously the real test is, can they come out and drink with us? So we took Jason down here. We'd been out with the other guy the day before. We took Jason down here. We were consuming beverages, and about 1 o'clock, so me, James, and Kirk kind of ended up meeting in the bathroom up here, and we were standing there relieving ourselves and basically looked at each other and said, "Is that the guy?" And we just kind of all just, nodded and said, "Yeah, that's him." We came back, sat down around this very table, and I basically
you can be Jason.
Yeah.
I'll be Jason.
Well, I just basically looked at him and I said, "Hey man, want a job?" And this is what he did. Woo-hoo!
Wow.
It scared everybody out
What
of
a
the
moment that must have been.
And then we thought twice about this.
From then on, it's been straight downhill.
This is the beginning of the end.
Okay, well,
We love you, Jason.
A little bit of history here at Tommy's joint. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back with lots more San Francisco with our hosts and guides, Metallica, so don't go away. Welcome back to the Week in Rock, where we're taking our tour of the San Francisco Bay Area with Lars and Kirk of Metallica. Guys, we're in the Triple Rock. That's what this is now?
Yeah, this is our neighborhood-friendly home brewery.
An institution with us.
Yeah, we come here and have a lot of attempted band meetings. They usually don't last very long.
Failed band meetings.
This is pretty, I can imagine why they fail. This is pretty strong stuff.
Yeah,
right?
this is... Oh
To
my
you.
God, I'm getting out of here. This place was introduced to us by a friend of ours named Dan R., who is...
James's personal bodyguard.
Yeah. God,
Good to
you
know.
heard that here first.
Name check for him. Okay, right now, some fashion news for those of you on a beer budget. It concerns the work of a New York City designer named Anna Sui. She started out 10 years ago making fashions in her apartment in New York. And the idea was to make kicky stuff that you could afford to buy, much like others you may have seen, except that back in the mid-'80s, it was one of the first stations ever to really pump Metallica really hard. What was happening back here in those days, guys?
Well. Every Saturday night, basically, between midnight and 8 in the morning, this guy named Ron Quintana, who was actually the guy that I stole the name Metallica from.
Where did you steal it from?
Well, he was asking me. We used to hang out, and he was starting a magazine. He asked me what he should call his magazine. He had this short list of names, and the name Metallica was on there, so I told him to call it Metal Mania. Kept Metallica for myself. Well, this guy used to have a radio show down here called Rampage Radio, and every Saturday night between 12 and 8, everybody would just come down here from wherever in the Bay Area and just hang out and get up to all kinds of crap down here.
Like what? Getting up to what? You suppose this would be.
Well, first of all, we'd come roaring in with our bottles of vodka, and just grab the mic and scream a bunch of vulgarities into the mic live over the air and bump into the turntable, watch the needle go skimming across the record. This is
Days are long gone.
Yeah. We used to just take over the place.
I know.
I think things have settled down quite a bit here.
We'll come do this on MTV soon.
They'll come to a radio station near you if you want them to. Meanwhile, back in New York again, those who still revere the 70s TV show The Brady Bunch will be happy to know that it lives on stage in Lower Manhattan at the Village Gate, as you're about to see. Green Show starring Faith No More, Soundgarden, Queensryche, and of course, the mighty Metallica here with us. It's going to be quite a show. If you are not in the area and you can't see it, there'll be an MTV News special 1-hour show wrapping up everything that happens here, and that'll start airing on Monday at 11 a.m. Try and catch that. And if you can't be here and still want to see Metallica live in the flesh, you're going out on tour, right?
Yeah, we start in Peoria, Illinois, of all places, on October 29th, and the first leg runs up through Christmas. It's mostly the Midwest and the Northeast, so there you go.
Great. You've seen some other Day on the Green shows here, right? Anything really memorable?
Yeah, I saw Led Zeppelin here in 1977. That was a great show.
Whoa.
It was incredible.
When
And
he was 6 years old.
and actually, we also played a Day on the Green in 1985.
With the Scorpions!
We were supporting the
Opening
Scorpions.
for the Scorpions. And you saw Peter Frampton here, too.
Yeah, I saw Peter Frampton here and Leonard Skinner.
Wow.
It was great because Peter Frampton got belted with hot dogs and sodas and everything.
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
I think we might say those were the days. You had to be here. Okay, well, this has been great. Thanks for taking part in this, showing us around
Thank
town.
you.
It's been great. And we'll be back again on Monday at 8 p.m. 7 Central with the Day in Rock. We hope to see you then. Have a good weekend. See you soon.
Later.
If you just tuned in, there's an encore presentation of The Week in Rock tomorrow at 6 p.m. 5 Central, right after the MTV Top 20 Video Countdown. Right now, stay tuned for The Big Picture.